Welcome to Employee Training for ISO 9001. The topics covered are extremely important, and the more you pay attention, the more comfortable you'll be during the certification process, and especially during the upcoming audits. We will cover a few basic definitions of words you are probably already hearing at work: Quality Management System, or QMS, ISO 9001, and Audit. This course will teach you some basic things that you are required to understand and that an auditor could ask you to explain. We will talk about some concepts related to a QMS, the importance and benefits of having a quality management system, the implications of not following its requirements, and what will happen during the audit. We want you to be as ready as possible for the audit, so we have some tips for surviving the experience. You will even experience a sample internal audit at the end of this training. Let's look at some key terms to get started. A quality management system, QMS, is a structured method for top management to control and improve your company's ability to meet requirements. Your QMS includes understanding customer requirements, purchasing, manufacturing, production, providing services, fulfilling contracts, fixing problems and the causes of those problems, monitoring and measuring your products and services, hiring and training people, maintaining equipment, having a clear way of getting things done, keeping records of what has been done. And there is more to it, but that gives you an idea of what we mean when we say QMS. It's pretty much every part of your company that is involved with your products or services. Definitely your job is part of the QMS, or you would not be taking this course. ISO 9001 is a document that could be simply described as a structured improvement program, an ongoing process of measuring company performance, updating business processes, and seeing what impact those changes have on the overall company performance. ISO 9001 has many requirements for your company to fulfill, and by learning the information in this course, you are already helping your company fulfill a requirement. Becoming ISO 9001 certified means that a professional auditing firm called a registrar or certification body visits your facility and reviews your improvement program to be sure that it conforms with all the ISO 9001 requirements effectively. Once completed, they issue a certificate and list your company in their registry as having a certified QMS. Our last definition is for the word audit, which is an activity to verify that your company is meeting the ISO requirements and to confirm the effectiveness of your quality management system. During an audit, an auditor will question many of the people at your company. One of them could be you. Their job is to compare what is supposed to happen at your job with what is really happening. We will talk more about the audit later in this course. With those definitions in your mind, you are ready to learn 4 topics that you are required to know. We will cover each one in detail so you know exactly what they are and how to explain them to an auditor. In this chapter, you will learn about the quality policy, quality objectives, the process approach, and risk-based thinking. The most fundamental part of your QMS is your company's quality policy. The quality policy is a short statement made by top management of the organization's intention to meet requirements and to improve. It is required that you are familiar with the quality policy and that you apply it. So how can you apply a statement about meeting requirements and improving? By doing just that. You apply the quality policy as you do your job exactly the way you are required to do it. No shortcuts, no missing information on forms. You also apply the quality policy when you see something related to your responsibilities that can be improved and let someone know. Don't just change it on your own, inform your manager or supervisor of the improvement idea. When the auditor asks you what is the quality policy and how do you apply it, you will tell them what your quality policy says and can add, I apply our quality policy as I do my job exactly how I am supposed to do it by always looking for ways to improve. The quality policy is the basis for quality objectives, another topic you need to know about. Quality objectives are goals that are related to quality and that measure the effectiveness of the main processes at your company. Here are 2 examples of quality objectives. Increase on-time delivery. Your target may be more than 96% of all products or contract deliverables are delivered on time monthly. Reduce customer complaints. Your target could be 0 major complaints and less than 3 minor complaints per quarter. It is a requirement in ISO 9001 that you are aware of all quality objectives that are relevant to your job. Not all objectives are relevant. For example, if you work in production, it is not likely that the objective for design would be relevant to your job. But the on-time delivery objective would be very relevant, and customer complaints objective would be relevant since if you do not produce the product as required, customers are going to complain. You should be able to answer the auditor's question, what quality objectives are relevant to your position and how do you help contribute to achieving them? If you find out what quality objectives are relevant to your job, think of ways your job can contribute to meeting those objectives. Now we will teach you the process model. Although this is a very important concept, it is not difficult to understand. Look at this diagram of the process model. Each process in your company has 3 basic elements. Inputs, the things that are necessary to start the process, activities, the steps you take while doing the process, and outputs, the results of the process. Take a look at this simplified example that shows the three basic elements of the receiving process. One of the inputs is raw materials. The receiving activities would include inspection, labeling, and placing the items in inventory. The output is quality raw materials that are ready for use. The process approach means that the output of one process becomes the input to another. See how the output of the receiving process, the quality raw material, becomes an input for the component assembly process? The output of the component assembly process is the assembled component, and that would become an input for another production process down the line. That is the process approach. When you get asked, what is the process approach, you can answer, the process approach is that all business activities are connected because the output of one process becomes an input to the next process. Let's move on to another topic you are required to know something about, which is risk-based thinking. Risk-based thinking starts with having a forward-thinking point of view which involves watching for changes that could affect your business and identifying any risks or concerns and any opportunities for improvement. You can apply risk-based thinking, and you probably already do, by being aware of changes or anything concerning that comes up. You could be the one to catch a problem that others did not see because you are the one who does your job. But risk-based thinking is not only looking for gray clouds, it also applies to being on the lookout for opportunities. Do you remember that we said that ISO 9001 can be considered a structured improvement program? Well, risk-based thinking is a big part of improving the process in your QMS. As you go about your daily duties, be aware of what you are doing and look for ways that can improve how you do your job. When an auditor asks you what is risk-based thinking and how do you apply it, you can answer, risk-based thinking is being forward-thinking. I apply risk-based thinking by looking for changes or concerns and opportunities for improvement. As you consider all that is included in your QMS, all of those processes or activities that affect your products and services from a request for a quote or proposal to delivery and post-delivery activities such as installation, servicing, or repair, it is easy to see the importance of the QMS. It is the way your top management will make sure that your organization is providing good products and services on a consistent basis. This will provide many benefits to your company, like increased customer satisfaction, repeat business, the ISO 9001 certification, and a listing of your company's name in a registry of ISO 9001 certified companies for potential customers to see. Since your company is getting ready for certification and is implementing the requirements of ISO 9001, you need to know the importance of conforming to the requirements. You may be asked to conduct your duties differently or record more information than before. It is vital that you are flexible and willing to follow the newly prescribed methods because it will take everyone doing their part in order to achieve certification. Your contribution to the QMS is absolutely necessary. What will you contribute? A lot. You will follow the defined process for your job, complete paperwork with precision, apply risk-based thinking or forward thinking by looking for risks or concerns and opportunities. Understand the process approach, which is to think of all business activities as connected because the output of one process becomes an input to the next process. Be an instigator for improvement for the areas you work in. Know the quality objectives and do all you can to help achieve them. Some organizations, not yours of course, but some find it as difficult to get all employees on board and they experience some pushback. Again, this will not happen at your company, right? There are serious implications of not conforming to the requirements of the QMS. These include the potential to lose customers and their business because you have unsatisfied customers, lose money because of needless scrap or the cost of rework when processes are not done correctly, lose the certification because if the auditor finds too many instances of people not performing their jobs according to the requirements of ISO 9001 and your own requirements, then the certification will not be issued. And it is important to keep up with all the requirements once you receive your initial certificate, because the auditor will come back every year, and if the next time they come they find a lot of problems, the certificate can be taken away. The goal is to be audit ready every day. Our last topic sums up one of the main purposes for an effective QMS, improvement. Improvement is important for obvious reasons. Things are getting better, but it is also one of the actual requirements too. Your company must show an auditor what has been improving. You can help in two ways. Do all you can to help your company reach the objectives that are set for your area. Use risk-based thinking and always be on the lookout for risks or concerns and opportunities for improvement. Make your supervisor, manager, or boss aware of what you have found. Hopefully you understand how important you are in the certification process. Your cooperation and commitment are crucial, and when the certificate is issued and framed in the lobby or other area, you should feel a great sense of pride that you had a part in receiving that. But before the certificate will arrive, there must be the audits. Yes, there will be more than one audit. Audits are either internal or external. Internal audits are conducted by someone who works at your company or by a consultant that has been hired to conduct the audit as if they were an employee there. The internal audit will take place before the external one. An external audit is conducted by a different company. In the case of becoming ISO certified, the company doing your external audit will be a registrar or certification body. This is the company that will determine that all of the ISO 9001 requirements and all of your company's requirements are being met, and if so, they will issue the certificate. Here are some tips for surviving audits. During the internal and external audits, you may be asked about how you do your job, what paperwork you are given, and what you are expected to record as you complete your job. Answer the questions honestly. Don't make anything up or omit something that you think you shouldn't say. If you do not know the answer, tell the auditor that you do not know the answer, and maybe direct them to someone who can answer the question. It is okay not to know everything. During the internal audit, you may help the auditor find problems if you see something they missed. That will show that the internal audit was done well. The point of any audit is to look for things that can be corrected or improved. But during the external audit, don't tell them anything extra, just answer the questions they ask. If you see something wrong that the external auditor missed, keep it to yourself until after the audit, and then you can report it to your boss. Another tip for surviving the audit is to know where the quality policy and quality objectives are posted. Most companies post them in several places. If you want, you can request a copy to place at your work area. You already know that you need to be able to talk about your quality policy and quality objectives, so be sure to review them often and especially right before an audit. This will sound obvious, but one way to prepare for an audit is simply to know your job and how to explain it. Practice telling someone what you do, if that will help you. You need to know what information you have to record and where those records are kept, or at least what you do with them when you are done. The auditors may ask you to perform part of your job so they can see how you do it. Don't be nervous about this. Just do it the way you do it when no one is watching. Another tip for the audits is to know the date of the audit so you are not caught off guard. Even the internal audit can be a bit nerve-wracking if you are not expecting it. The last tip we have for your upcoming audit is to be organized at your workspace. Clean things up like you would if an important guest or customer is coming. You will feel more ready for the audit if your area looks presentable. Let's summarize what you have just learned. You are responsible for knowing these topics and may need to explain them to an auditor. You need to know the quality policy and the quality objectives that relate to your area. You will need to get that information and learn it. You need to remember 3 concepts for ISO 9001 certification. The process approach. This is the idea that all business activities are connected because the output of one process is an input to the next process. Your QMS. This is the quality management system, which is all activities that are needed to supply your products or provide your services. And you need to know that you contribute to the QMS by doing your job exactly right, by applying risk-based thinking, and by helping achieve the quality objectives. One benefit of your QMS is improved performance, which means that customers will be satisfied, repeat business will occur, and your company is ISO 9001 certified. And lastly, the implication of not conforming to the requirements is that your company will be non-compliant. You could lose customers, money, and your ISO 9001 certificate. Risk-based thinking, which is forward-thinking and always looking for risks or concerns and opportunities for improvement. Best of luck to you as you move forward in helping your company become ISO 9001 certified. Let's take some time to review a sample internal audit so you know what to expect.